One wrong move, I'ma buy me a gun. Let a never fuck nigga play with my heart. You fucking with a savage, you don't know what you done. You will walk the dragon, that's the only begun. Pull the trigger, one shot, murder, she sung. Empty the clip, ain't no where in your lungs. I'm just playing, baby, this is only for fun.
Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel, Chemical X TV. I'm back, and I know I said I would drop a video every Friday, but so much has been going on, so just bear with me, you guys. But I'm back, and I'm back with another story time, so let's get into it. Okay, so this is a story time about when I was 13, how me and my cousin was walking down White Avenue. If you're from Baltimore, you know where White Avenue is. We were walking down White Avenue by that McDonald's, and we met this girl. She was a cute girl, and she dressed nice. Like, she looked really nice. So she looked at us and said, "Hey, it's a party tonight. Y'all should come to the party with me." So she tells us that she's 16. And first of all, we're 13, so we have no business going to no party. We have no business doing anything. Like, we were supposed to be going to McDonald's and coming right back. But back then, we barely had any rules. Like, we were out all hours of the night. It's probably why we're so grown now. But we met the girl, and she was like, "Yeah, y'all should come to a party with me." So we goes back to her house. We don't know this girl from Adam or Eve. So this is the most dangerous thing that you could really do. We don't know you. We goes to her house, and we're all talking. She's dressing us up. She's taking our clothes off, picking her clothes out of her closet, putting her clothes on us, put heels on us and everything. First of all, one, I'm 13. I have never wore a pair of heels. My first pair of heels was for my 8th grade graduation, and my ankles was buckling, and I don't like that. But and we had no car. None of us drove. None of us was driving, so we had to walk in heels to the party. The party was about 4 blocks away, so we're walking in the hills, click, 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 walking in them. My fucking legs hurt. When I tell you my legs hurt, my ankles hurt, I felt my knees quivering. Like, what is going on here? So before we get to the party, she takes us to one of her homegirls' house, and it's a bunch of girls in there. They're getting ready as well. So we're all like, okay, this could be cool. I never had any, like, female friends or none of that. Like, I would just hang with my family. So I'm like, all right, this might be fun. This might be a cool little situation or whatever. So the girl's like, "Yeah, how old are y'all?" I'm like, "I'm 13. They're like, "You're 13? Your body looks good." Da, 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 da. You know how girls be. They like your butt. We got a big butt, small waist. They're like, "Oh, yeah, you're 13. You don't even look like it." So they're all getting dressed, curling their hair. All of these girls was 16 or 17. They were drinking and smoking. I didn't do none of that. Didn't know I knew what it was, but it's like, I don't think I want to participate in those type of things. But yeah, peer pressure do get to you. So when you get to the party, you get like a cup. You're walking around with the cup. I get to the party, I see a few of my cousins in there. They're like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "What are you doing here?" They like, "I won't say nothing, and you won't say nothing." Okay, then we're on hush. Like, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, you're not supposed to be here. And I want to take a seat. Because my feet hurt. But all of us girls, I guess it's about 12 of us now, we're walking to the party. So we're walking down the street in a group. I'm just so excited because I've never been to a party before. I have never been invited out, only to my aunt's house to go swimming and stuff like that. So this is my first party. Like, this is my first party. I'm excited. Like, I don't even know what's going to happen, but I'm excited. So we get to the party. It's a group of guys. Outside of the house. Back then it was house parties. We're not even old enough to go to no club and none of that. So it's house parties. It's a group of guys outside of the house. So this one guy comes up to me like, "You're so beautiful." So I'm nervous. I'm a nervous little kid. So I'm like, "Thank you. Thanks." And he like, you ain't gotta be nervous, baby. Something, something, something. I tell him my real age. I tell him I'm 13. He tells me he's 16. And I'll get back to him. But he turns out to be one of my very first loves. No, not the very first person that I had relations with, but one of my very first loves. Like, I'll never get over him. And he raps, so, you know, I never discovered that I wanted to rap until last year, So we goes into the party, me and my cousin. I mean, we're with the girl that we were with, but she somehow leaves us, and we can't find her. So she leaves us, and I don't know where she at, doing whatever. We're in the party. We're trying to figure out, like, what should we do? Like, should we get a drink? Should we sit down? Should we talk to people? I get a drink. I put the little drink in my cup. We're walking around with the same drink. We just look cool because we got drinks in our hand. We're 13, remember them. So we're just trying to figure out, like, this is what a party is. They just sit around, smoke, and talk to people. Like, we see people dancing on each other. We see people going upstairs to the bedrooms. We see people in the bathroom. We like, oh, so this is what the older kids do. This is probably why our parents don't want us to grow up. Like, because we're going to be doing stuff like this, and maybe I'm not ready for this type of stuff. Like, and back then, all the older boys' hormones were jumping. Like, all they thought about was sex. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't even know you, sir. Like, come on now. So we're trying to find the girl. At this point, we enjoyed the party. We done walked around. We done talked to people. We done made people laugh. I got out of my uncomfortable zone and got comfortable just a little bit. And we're trying to look for the girl that we came with, but she's nowhere to be found. So I'm asking for, of course, I'm not going to say any names. I'm asking for her, and they like, oh, you looking for shorty? And I'm like, yeah. They like, her young tail upstairs. I said, I thought she was 16. They're going to say, 16? She 13. So she was 13 just like us. 13 just like us, born in 1996. Like, okay, we get that you wanted to act older, but you could have told us we're the same age. I wasn't going to tell nobody, so I was just like, all right. The police gets called, so they're coming to shut the party down. So we all have to run out the front door and the back door, jumping off the balcony and stuff to get out of there because it's underage drinking. It's a lot of stuff going on in this party. So I'm like, let me hurry up and get out of here. Me and my cousin snatches the heels off. We snatches the heels off, and we run. We're running back to the house. We're running back to the house. We don't have the clothes on that we left the house in. So we have to sneak upstairs in the bed and act like we were there all night. And when I tell you, that was the first of many adventures that me and this girl had. Because me and my cousin, we was getting into a lot of stuff. So we folds the clothes up that she gives us, and we put them to the side, like underneath the bed. And the next morning, she hits me up on Facebook like, yeah, I need my stuff back. They're not even my shoes. They're my mom's. So I'm like, okay. So we put the stuff in the bag and get ready to give it to her. We walked up to her house and gives her the stuff. And I tell her, like, you ain't had to lie to us and tell us you was 16. You could have told us you was 13. We all the same age. And she like, well, I ain't know y'all like that. Something. But you took us to your house. You ain't know it's like that, but you done took us to your house and took us to a party and took us to somebody else's house. And then the police came. Like, I don't know if I want to hang with you anymore, but I didn't hang with her after that. I mean, we talked on Facebook and then later on Instagram, but I didn't never go anywhere else with her because maybe it just didn't align. Right. So that day, me and my cousin do the same thing we always do. We go walking through the field. We're walking through, it's like a field by this house that sit alone, and then there's apartment buildings after it. We're walking through the field, and it's a group of kids. I mean, I'm gonna say kids. They were like 16. It's a group of them. And they said something smart. So my cousin said something back, like, nobody gives a, right? So then they like, who are you talking to? So she like, I'm talking to you. They start pelting us with fucking rocks. Like, literally throwing rocks at us. And I'm like, yo, why are they throwing rocks at us? What kind of weird stuff is that? Then after they threw the rocks, we go walking down the street and we don't never have nowhere to go. We're just walking around doing nothing, probably going to go see some of her friends because I wasn't even around. I didn't even live around there, so I didn't really know anyone around there. So we go see some of her friends. We go to the store. We go back to McDonald's. When we go to McDonald's, we see the group of kids that threw rocks at us. Now, this time, they're trying to be nice. They're being nice. They asking us what our name is. They asking us how old we is, all that. And I tell them, like, yeah, I'm 13. I meet this boy. I met another boy who would later become one of my best friends. And I love him to this day. That's my Pisces for life. But, yeah, I met him. And from that day on, like, he has never left my life. He's never left my life. So, I love him. I really do love him. But not, like, in love, but I love him. But, yeah, they were being nice this time, so it was kind of weird, like, what do y'all want? And I was, like, one of those, scaredy cats, thinking that everybody was out to get me. So I'm like, come on, we need to leave, we need to go, we need to get out of here, we need to go eat. But, all in all, that was my first party. It was a great experience, because I never did nothing like it, and I would probably do it all over again. If I could go back in time, I would do the exact same thing. I met a lot of cool people that night, and I got to wear my first pair of heels. But no, for real. Yeah, that's it. That's the end of this story time.